Good morning. Welcome to a crisp, cool morning in southern Idaho. Working on Jeeps again here today. Appreciate everybody that has tuned into the channel and subscribed and liked our videos. I think we're getting better and better as we go along. So today I'm gonna get back on a project we started last week. 1980 CJ5 that I did the axle work on, and today we're going to work on some of the wiring, so under the dash, and so I'm going to bring you along with that. So let's go into the shop and get started. All right, this is what we're working on today. I'm going to get this dash panel all set up, ready to put back in, and it's going in our little CJ5 here, 304 176 tranny, and it does have a fuel injection throttle body, so that's going to be got to take care of the wiring for that. So I will get that put up. So I'm going to grab a few tools and a light and bring over here so we have plenty of light to see what we're doing, and we'll get the camera set up in the tripod and go from there. Okay, so if you know anything about these Jeep instrument clusters, they are pretty problematic. There's a lot of people that have problems with the lights in the dash themselves. So these little ones here, they go out. They're hard to find replacements for. And then the overall setup that AMC did was terrible when it came to ground. So they didn't really make a ground that was very good, so they grounded here on the bottom in one spot and then another spot down here. Okay, what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start by checking the lights that go in the instrument cluster. So I'm changing out the instrument cluster. The miles really aren't going to matter a whole lot. This one has broken glass and the chrome is all rusted, so I've got one that's basically the same. It worked from the vehicle I took it out of. It was in this red one over here. So I'm going to put it in, get it set, screwed down, and then I'm going to start or continue to check the lights. Check them all before we put them in. It makes it a little bit easier. I'll show you how I do that, and then I'll just time lapse the rest of it. It's kind of handy. I just got an aftermarket. Well, I've got a number of plugs that I used. They're from a number of different instrument clusters. Anyway, so it's just a socket that holds those little tiny bulbs, a couple of wires off of it, a battery, and basically I just take the lamp out, put the bulb into this socket, then I can just test it or touch it onto the battery like this, and voila, I can test whether the light is good enough. That's what I'm going to do with all of these. As I'm going along here, grab a gun to put the rest of these on. That's easier to spin them down with. They are kind of long, but once I get the cluster put back into place, the rest of it goes in pretty quick as to where the lights go. And that's an easy way to check them. I know I have a number of my own rigs that do not have all the lights working, and I should probably go through and check all of those. All right, so this cluster's in. I'm just going to start hooking things up, making sure that my wires aren't all twisted around so they have enough length. There's a number of diagrams online. If you don't remember, if you pull yours out and you don't remember what goes where, there's a number of diagrams online that can help you find where they go. It helps when you're putting them back together. I don't always remember. I can do quite a few of them pretty good, but yeah, sometimes it helps to have a diagram to help tell you where it's at. I just checked this one and it's pretty good. It's good. There are also replacement plugs for these here. If they break, they have a tendency to kind of come apart over time. My signal ones are the green ones, I know that, but I can never tell which is which. I always seem to get the signal lights messed up as to which one they go in. I think the short green one goes in here, and the long one with the white goes in the other. Okay, I'm going to switch the camera over to time lapse and just time lapse this. I'm just going to check each bulb and plug them in as I go. Okay, so I got all through the harness, checked all the lights. I zip tied a few things up, taped a few things. Everything's connected now as far as where things go. I found a few bad bulbs by checking them, replaced them with good ones. So this is pretty much ready to go back in the rig the way it is. Don't know what that button does, but not hooked to anything right now. So yeah, we'll get this over into the Jeep. I'll get things repositioned and set up, and I'll show you how we go from there. Okay, I got this laid in here. The tricky part is, so this main part of the wiring harness has to go up in between here where the steering column attachments are. It goes over that, and then these pieces go back in here like this. That's probably the trickiest part of this, is getting that over that and then back in. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in just loosely in case I need to pull it back out again. And then this plate actually has the threaded portion for the dash panel that helps or holds those screws in place. So we're going to get this on here. Okay, now the next part is to get this kind of positioned in here so it's in the right spot. So let's put the windshield frame down so we can get this up. I think I'll go over to the other side, hold that side up with a screw. I know you probably can't see me, but all right. And then this one, so the steering column wiring just needs to be in its right spot. The fuse panel, it'll go on the other side of the pedals, and all of it will fit in there like that. So it looks like it's going in there pretty good. So I'm going to put a screw into these. Now the cable pulls for the vents, they can be put in afterward. They're not hard to reach. Like I said, I ordered a set of those to put in here for the customer. His were all bad, busted off. And if they break off, if the ends break off, they don't pull. It's a pretty common thing to have happen. I've seen them lots of times that way. I've replaced tons of them. And aftermarket ones are fine. They seem to work pretty good. I haven't had too much problem with any of them really. Put a few of these in here. All right, let's go back over the other side. A brown and 2 black wires here, this longer plug. This goes to the heater resistor. Remember, the fan comes in through the firewall. So this plugs in up underneath here. It goes to the resistor. Kind of tells when the temperature is where it needs to be. All right, these 2 are hanging down. These go to the old school cigarette lighter, and they're not a bad one to use for any accessories you might have for power. Don't think it's fused. It's in with something else, but you can use it for stuff that doesn't draw as very many amps. So we'll go back over here to the other side. Fuse block back up into place where it goes. It's sometimes just a little tricky to get up in its hole. Wires fight against it quite a bit. So now there's a wire that hangs down for a black wire that hangs down for the emergency brake switch. The other wire that hangs down is for the rear lights. It goes on the other side of the emergency brake. Okay, so I got this put back in. Got all the screws in place. Wiring for the steering column is in place. Resistor plugged in. High beam switch fastened to the floor. The wiring harness that goes to the back I have not hooked up because there's lots of problems with it too. So yeah, that's where we're at now. So we've got a few wires to deal with that are for the fuel injection for the throttle body, and I'm going to chase those down under the hood. So I think that's all I can do for right now. I'll get things repositioned, put the steering column back in, and then we will go with that to go to that point. Anyway, okay, I got the steering column put back in here. It's not plugged in yet, and it's not in there perfect. The bolts are holding in place. I got the front part aligned. I needed to get that done before I go to the under the hood. That should be it for right here. I'm going to get this put back in so the column's in place, and then I'll tighten those down and just plug the other 2 wires in up underneath, and we'll go under the hood and make sure everything's good there. Hey, welcome back. It's a few days later after I've worked on this CJ5. I went through the wiring harness, got all that buttoned up and put into place, column all tightened up. It will actually turn on and it'll kick over. So yeah, we're kind of to that point now. I have been waiting for some parts to put the carb on and get that ready to go. Experiencing some fuel pump problems and a few other things. So this rig initially had a Howell TBI on it, or Rochester, whichever is you're more familiar with. So we could not get the fuel pump to stay on all the time. Something in the wiring was bad. I could not figure out how to get it switched around. So we're just going to change it over to a carbureted setup. And I have this Holley, what is it, 4412 I think it is. 4412. It's a 500 CFM carb. Should work pretty good with 304. I worked my way through it earlier. It's all pretty much ready to go. I got this a couple of days ago, This is one of the things I was shy. This is the spacer for the carb to put it on the manifold. So that we will do in a different video. I just wanted to show you with the wiring harness and all that set up that it was done. So here's the outside one. Inside is all in there, ready to go, ready to start. Haven't got the pulls yet for the HVAC stuff, but it's coming. It's after Christmas now, and so yeah, just back in the shop trying to finish up a few projects, trying to get a few things done, see if I can get a few things out of here. Hope everybody had a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas, and you were able to spend some time with your family and friends. Yeah, look forward to another successful year of working on CJs. Anyway, that's where we're at with this one. So thanks for watching. If you like what we're doing, please like and subscribe and tell your Jeeping buddies. And no matter what, keep those CJs rolling. Thanks again.